I'm Brooke Brockman and this is Tamara Jackson. We're with the Wyoming Department of Education, here to tell you about the Professional Standards Learning Objectives for school nutrition staff.
I bet you're wondering why you're here watching this training. Well, it all goes back to the Healthy Hunger Free Kid Act that was instituted in 2010. And part of that was professional standards. This training is going to cover the training piece of it, not the hiring part. We are excited that you're here, and we're excited about the knowledge that you can learn from each of these trainings that we've created. Brooke is going to go into more detail about the who, what, when, where, why of all of this. So take it away, Brooke.
All right, professional standards in a nutshell. First, we're going to talk about the who, what, how, and tracking. Who, directors, managers, staff, and part-time staff. How many hours? Directors for this year, we have 8, and then another 4 for 12 in the next school year. Managers, 6, and then 10 for the next year. Staff, 4 plus 2 for another 6 in the following year. Part-time staff has it easy, they're 4 and 4. Now how on earth are you going to remember all these numbers? 8 and 12, 6 and 10, 4 and 6, and 4 and 4. The magic? Add all of these minutes and hours till you reach your goal. Now, the what? NOAC. NOAC. Know what, you say? Nutrition, operations, administration, communications, and marketing. These are the 4 learning principles for the standards. Each objective has several trainings and learning objectives that we'll look at a little bit later on. So now, how are you going to get all these hours? Number 1, you've got the Brooke and Tamara show. We'll be putting together a series of videos on the different learning topics that you'll be able to watch at your own leisure and count towards your hours. Number 2, SNA, FNS, USDA, any of those websites have several online trainings or workshops that you can complete your training hours with. Third, is there an event or a workshop you're attending and it doesn't seem to count, or you're not sure where it fits? Just ask us. We'll make sure it counts towards your hours. Next, how in the world are we going to track all of these hours? Number 1, USDA has a training tracker tool that it put on their website. It's a spreadsheet type that you can fill in all of your information and document the class specifics. We thought it was a little bit complex, so we designed a spreadsheet that's very simple. Wyoming Department of Education Training Tracker. It's very simple, and then Collier, which you're all very familiar with, will be adding their own platform.
The Collier platform will be right where you go on to do your applications and also do your claiming. There'll be another tab on there that will say training. You will have an opportunity to use that site as an option for you to track your training. The cool thing about the site on the CNP is that anybody can access it. They won't need to have a special password that currently you need to have to do claiming applications and compliance. So we're excited about this, and this will roll out sometime this fall. We will send an email out that will give you the information to access that.
Before you go any further, I know I can hear you asking, does the SNA conference and our fall district training, will those count? Yes, absolutely. Our June and our October meetings will definitely count towards your training hours. Lots of them. So now with your tracker, what do you need to document? Number 1, the date. Number 2, the title. Your learning objective, which is your nutrition, operations, administration, or communication and marketing. And you might want to document the length so we can account for the right amount of hours. As always, feel free to contact us with any questions. Have a great training and be sure to squirrel away a little nut of knowledge. In a nutshell, professional standards for school nutrition.
Nutrition. Nutrition is an important part of what all of you do, especially nutrition education. So think about that when you're talking about different types of trainings that you might conduct with your staff. Also, there's some carryover between nutrition and operations. Any of the menu planning, cycle menus, that type of thing can fall under nutrition. But don't don't stress about where you put it. If it goes under nutrition, that's great. If it goes under operations, that's fine too. In fact, we've got a lot to juggle in this job. Operations is the next one we're going to talk about with NOAC. Operations, obviously, is the part that would include the things that you do when you're making your food. I brought along Chef Combo with me to help me explain what would be covered in operations. Thank you for coming. You are so very welcome. I bet you guys didn't know I'm a ventriloquist, so you will not even be able to see my lips moving when I do this. Food production is included in operations. That would include recipes, culinary skills, that type of thing. Also, seeing labels, who we all love. Serving food, portion size, offer versus serve, maintaining food quality and serving line. Cashiers, the point of sale, reimbursable meals. Financial responsibility. Purchasing and procurement. We all love those bids, solicitations, and evaluations. Receiving and storage is another part of this with USDA foods. And also, don't forget your food safety and your HACCP plan. That all goes into operations. Thanks, Chef Combo, for coming and working with me. You are so very welcome, and I hope you all have a great school year. Well, the next part of NOAC is administration. Oh my gosh, I'm being pelted by plastic tomatoes. At least they aren't real. I will promise that I'll hurry through the administration part. Administration includes the free and reduced price meal benefits, the program management, which would be staff management, healthy school environment, emergency plans, those type of things. Financial management, we all love the financial part of this. Budgeting, financial analysis, the compliance with regulations and with the meals. Also, human resources and staff training. That would also include the employees' health, safety and wellness, retention, training plans and tracking, and facilities and equipment planning is included in that. I'm done with administration. Don't throw any more tomatoes. The last part of NOAC is communication and marketing. And a big part of that is you need to get out there and sell your program. And the way that you sell your program is by doing some strategic and marketing plans, program promotions, customer service, because everybody wants to come and eat when people are nice and friendly and caring. So that's a big part of your program. Also, communication skills, school and community communications. All of these trainings can be done with your staff and are critical for the success of your program. And don't forget the smarter lunchroom techniques. Those can be some great trainings. We are sure glad that you are here to be part of these trainings. Remember, you are the success of the programs in Wyoming. Good day, this is Tamara Jackson with the Department of Education. I am the supervisor of the child nutrition programs, and I'm here today to talk to you about direct certification. Currently, direct certification is part of the National School Lunch Program, and that is the reference that I'm going to use today with all of this. I bet some of you are probably wondering what direct certification is. And to be honest with you, 5-6 years ago, I wondered the same thing. I heard it and I thought, I wonder what that is. So today, hopefully by the time you get done with this training, it will be a little clearer to you, and also the importance of direct certification. If you really think about what it says, we are directly certifying a student to have free meals. And a direct certification means that there's no application involved in the process. So today we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about direct certification, what you do with the direct certification letters, and how you access the direct certification site. There are different ways that you can be directly certified, and those vary from state to state. Here in Wyoming, you can be directly certified with SNAP, with TANF, with FDPIR, Foster, and also with Migrant, Homeless, and Runaway. We'll kind of break those down into the different areas. I'm going to start out talking about SNAP. And SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That is the program that before was called food stamps, and now they refer to it as SNAP. I'm going to go into detail about SNAP first, but I'll also tell you that TANF is Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, and FDPIR is Food Distribution Program on the Indian Reservations. So all of those would qualify you for being directly certified. Also, we'll talk about Foster in a little bit. The goals of direct certification are to improve access for lower income students without having to use an application. It definitely reduces the paperwork that's involved for both the household and for you at the school level. It improves the integrity of the program because you aren't relying on someone putting their income down. You're relying on another agency to let you know if these students qualify. So as I said, we're going to talk about SNAP first. The Wyoming Department of Education has a great website. We call it the Direct Cert website. And you are able to access this website at any time, and we update it monthly. So every month we will send an email out. It generally comes from Camden. She will send an email out to all of you letting you know that the next month is up and ready to be viewed. July is the base month for the direct certification letters each year. So in July, all the newly certified households for the current school year will be there. After July, each month, you will be able to access the information for changes either on students' names, additions, or changes to addresses. If a household provides a SNAP letter of eligibility, the SFA would need to complete the electronic match process by visiting the direct cert site. If the household completes an application and provides a case number, the SFA, you, would need to verify that case number by matching it against the direct certification website. If the direct certification letter is found for the student, the application should be attached to that letter, and the student status then would change to directly certified. Direct certification will extend to every student in the household. Now, this is something that is extremely important to remember. If you have a student in a household that is directly certified, SNAP, every child that lives in that household is also directly certified SNAP. So it can be a student that's not even related to the student that has the SNAP number. It could be two families that are living together under the same household. It could be a boyfriend of the mother of the child that is directly certified SNAP. All of his children that live in that household would be directly certified. What you need to do at that point is just to print out a letter or make a copy of the direct certification letter for the SNAP student and then attach it to each of the children that you know live under that same roof to show that they also are directly certified SNAP. If a SNAP number is included on an application but is not found on the direct certification website, we recommend that you contact DFS and you verify that SNAP case number. Once the name shows up on the direct certification site, then you need to switch the student from categorically eligible via the application to directly certified. And you might think that that is a little ridiculous that we're making you go through that step because the student is free either way. But the USDA matches the number of students that we get from DFS to the number that we are directly certifying. So it's important for Wyoming's numbers that we're showing that we are matching the students that we're getting from DFS that are SNAP. If we don't, if you don't make that switch, then it would look like that student fell through the cracks and wasn't directly certified free. What you might find when you call DFS is they might tell you to call me. The reason for that is I want to make sure that our people are using the direct certification website. So if you have to make one extra call and call me and then call them back and say that you've spoken to me, I have found by doing this process, I've found many people out in the schools that aren't using the direct cert site and don't know anything about it. So I know it's one more step for you, but it's really helped us be able to make sure that the schools are using the direct cert site monthly. If you do call DFS and they have a case number, but they don't show up on the direct cert site, please contact me and let me know that after the fact, because then we need to find out why that student didn't show up. We also have a tab on our direct cert site for foster. Other states do not have this, so other states look at foster as being categorically eligible, which means an application has to be filled out for that student to be qualified foster, and there's no direct certification connected. But in Wyoming, because we do have the ability to have the information from DFS and the file sent over monthly, we can directly certify foster. Again, it is very important to remember that in order for a student to be foster, the state must retain legal custody of the child. And that's whether they were placed in the home by a welfare agency or by a court. The child needs to be under legal custody of the state in order to be considered foster. So that does not apply to informal or formal arrangements that were made by a state or by a court-placed system. If that child is not under custody of the state, they aren't foster. If you have any questions about that, please give me a call and we can talk about it. The important thing also to remember is that a foster child does not send his benefits on to everybody else that lives in the household. That is only SNAP that does that. Foster only relates directly to that child that's a foster child. The direct certification documentation that you need to keep is the names of the children or household members receiving benefits from the programs that we just talked about. A statement certifying the student is a member of the household. One form of identifying information about the student. So the best thing that we can say for documentation is when you print out the letter to send to the family that they are directly certified, just keep a copy of that letter. And if you want to keep it electronically, we're okay with that, but you have to have some form of documentation to show that you have those students directly certified, and by what documentation, and how do you prove that? Well, the Migrant, Homeless, and Runaway direct certification in Wyoming, again, we count that as directly certified and not categorically eligible, so you do not need to have an application for those students. But you need to have documentation from your school liaison that is the one that handles the Migrant, Homeless, and Runaway. An email will be fine, or a letter from that person is documentation to show that those students are directly certified. Head Start is an area that we haven't talked about yet. They are directly certified. The documentation, again, can be from the Head Start teacher or coordinator, and that does not transfer benefits to other students in the household. The only one that does is the SNAP. You are required to notify the household of your eligibility through direct certification. The best way to do that for SNAP and for foster is to use the letters that are on the direct cert site, and you can just print those off directly from the site to send to the families. If you want to add your letterhead, you certainly can to the top of those letters. All households must receive either that letter or an application. So they need to have both. If they receive the letter saying that they're directly certified, then obviously they do not need to fill out an application. So how do you access the direct certification letters? The direct certification letters are located on the Direct Cert website. And the Direct Cert website is part of WDE Fusion website. So the users that are going to be working with this need a Fusion account to access. If you already have a Fusion user account, then you can request access to the Direct Cert website that's underneath that. So there's basically the Fusion, and then underneath that is Direct Cert. And there is a user registration request form that we have the address right here for you to access that. Another way that you can access this is just to email either Camden or myself to get access to a Fusion account or to get access to the Direct Cert part of Fusion. And we'll help you if you want to go that route rather than filling out the form. This slide gives you more information on accessing a Fusion user account. So again, you can navigate by following this, this browser, or again, you can contact us and we'll help you get it. So once you get to this point and you have everything you need, you will have a username and you will have a password. So you'll sign in. It will take you directly to the Direct Cert piece of Fusion. Once you get here, you're going to click on NSLP Letters, because it truly is the letters piece of it that you're looking for. That then in turn will let you know which students are directly certified. Once you access the NSLP Letters, you will access your district. If you would like to be able to look at your entire county, because sometimes that helps you search some kids that might be going to your district that are in a zip code of another district in your county. If you don't have access to your whole county, just let Camden or myself know and we'll help you get that. Data cycle, you'll put in the month that you're looking for, and then your program qualification if you're either doing SNAP or doing foster, and then you search. If it seems like when you get to this point that you aren't getting the number of students that you should, please notify us and let us know. Sometimes there might be a glitch in the system and an error, and we need to know that. We had that earlier this year. We had it a couple times last year. So if you let us know that, then we can figure out what's going on and make sure that you're having access to all the students. You will be able then to see the students' names, so you can either export the entire list or you can print the letters, whichever works best for you. If you're just looking for one student, viewing the letter might be the way to do it, but if you're looking for all of them, then you will need to print them all out, so it's easier for you to do a list. One thing that I would like to say about exporting the list is if you're exporting it, let's say, to your desktop, make sure it's not sitting somewhere where somebody else can walk up to your computer and can click on that and see those students, because this is confidential information and really needs to be handled that way. Again, if you're looking at foster, then you would need to go back in. If you do SNAP first, then you go back in and access foster. We're hoping to have another tab on this eventually that will be the Medicaid tab. We're working with the Department of Health to try to get that information on those students. Remember, it is mandatory that you check the Direct Cert site monthly. We have access to be able to see who is logged on and who is taking care of that monthly. If you have a situation where you are either a provision school or you're doing CEP, which is part of provision, then there might be a situation where you're not looking at it monthly. But if you're not sure about that, just contact either Camden or myself to make sure if you need to be viewing it. But everyone that is a district or a private school needs to be looking at this unless you have those unique situations. Also, if you are a residential child care institution and you have day students, then you need to access monthly to make sure there aren't day students that are directly certified. If you don't have day students and you're an RCCI, then there would be no reason for you to access the site. We hope that this has helped you learn more about direct certification. There is a quiz and a link to the quiz, and so that you can count these hours toward professional development. If you have any questions on direct certification, please contact myself or Camden. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.